everyone, it's Jordan here, back again with this week's update on all the physical releases coming to the Switch. We are in the last week of the shortest month on Earth, February 21st until the 25th, Monday to Friday. Remember, once we get to 100,000 subscribers, we're giving away a Nintendo Switch OLED model to one of you, so subscribe. I mean, most of you subscribed already, so what am I even saying? Variable Barricade is releasing this week. This is an Otomi visual novel, one of the big hitters for the year. There is a handful of huge Otomis coming out from Axis Games this year, and this is the first in the lineup. And since I've started my second channel, VM Paradise, I found out that Otomi fans are gasping for this piece of action. They become rather rabid if a few months go by without a brand new Otomi. They start like frothing at the mouth. Anyways, I might as well give a little plug to VM Paradise because yes, we will have a review out of this on Thursday, and no, not from me. I have a very good writer who knows all about the genre, and I hope you will be there to watch me narrate her views. It's going to be an essential watch if you're into visual novels, especially Otomes. Atelier Sophie 2, The Alchemist of the Mysterious Dream, is the latest entry in the incredibly packed series. Another JRPG coming to the Switch's library. I reviewed most of them, and as you will have guessed, yes, I'm reviewing this one too. I'll see you on Thursday for this one as well. You can find out how it stacks up against the other recent releases. Also, if you've got the other 58 Atelier games on the Switch, then this would look odd if this wasn't in your collection too. And North Americans, for some reason, Koei games tend to get really expensive at times for you guys, so be careful if you're on the fence for this charming little JRPG. And our executive producers Michael Del Polito, Elissa, Cartoon Sora, Mental Traveler, Raven Knight, and JCross7776 have chosen this as their pick of the week. Undernauts, Labyrinth of Yomi is releasing in Europe physically, finally. This has been released in North America a good while already, last year in fact, with many people enjoying it very much. This old school dungeon crawling approach with its own little twists. I'll admit, I'm rather jealous of those who have played it because it looks exactly like my kind of game. Monark is another RPG releasing this week, this time from NIS America. It's made by Furyu, who also did the upcoming Crystar and the well-loved Alliance Alive plus Caligula Effect, which you know what that means, Atlas, but without a budget. Yes, this probably cost like the same as a packet of Skittles to make, but we love a good underdog here at SwitchWatch. Well, I do. I saw that this got mixed reviews from a few places, with many reviews complaining about the grind. While I am somewhat interested in this personally, I'm not in any real rush to go out and buy it straight away. And our executive producers Robotech, Alexander Kato, Issa and Parsnip Coffee have chosen this as their pick of the week. YouTubers Live 2 is releasing in Europe and North America this week. Excuse me. Autobahn Police Simulator 2 promises an elaborately told story, intelligent AI, and a living police station, which kind of sounds like a boss in Final Fantasy VII, but then you find out it's called Autobahn Police Simulator 2. Because let's face it, this is the kind of game you'd expect to be a code-in-a-box bullshit, and no one would be upset, frankly. But no, law enforcement doing the honorable thing and being on a proper cartridge according to Amazon. So yeah, this seems to be only released in Europe. I guess North Americans would be confused about what an Autobahn is. They'd be like, does the barn move by itself? Reverie Knight's Tactics is also releasing in Europe this week. This is your classic 7 out of 10 tactical RPG. I can't say I'm entirely in love with the art style, it's just a bit too bold and colourful for me, giving it a slightly cheap look. I don't really have too much to say about this one, but I am happy something like this can release at retail, although I guess not in North America. Life is Strange True Colors is kinda releasing physically this week. It is the case of, yes, a download is required. This is the third entry in the Life is Strange series, of which I know absolutely bugger all about. It seems just a little bit too artsy for my liking. I mean, I don't even think there's a flamethrower in any of them. Regardless, this was well received. It's just a pity the download required cartridge is a bit pants. I guess we'll have to find out to what extent that download is. Maybe it's just a DLC, which wouldn't be too bad. But yeah, I don't know. Interestingly, while both the US and European box art explicitly mentions the download required, looking at listings for the Japanese version, I can't see any mention of it. Whether they just don't give a shit about mentioning it, or maybe it's a better cartridge, let's keep our eyes on that. Anybody in Japan who's picking it up or can, research better than myself, keep me posted, because I'd be interested in knowing about it. Alright, the Low Prince. Play Asia have announced their latest exclusive release in partnership with East Asia Soft, and this time it's a very, very different game to their normal one. I had to double check I was looking at the right game. Yes, a 1v1 fighter, believe it or not, Omen of Sorrow. This is a mythological horror-themed fighter. Frankenstein's monster, Imhotep, even good old Quasimodo thought he should climb down from Notre Dame to join in with the brawl. He loves a good scrap. Apparently this is kind of like a definitive edition of the game with extra arcade and story content and overall polish, even cross-online play. I can't see this competing much with the Street Fighters or Mortal Kombats of this world, but it's probably going to be better than Fight of Gods and Fight of Animals. There's 2,000 collector's editions available on Thursday, 11 PM Hong Kong time. It includes a soundtrack CD, which probably sounds very metal indeed. There's also a standard edition that's going to be available too. I'd massively appreciate it. If you want to pick this up, then please consider supporting us at the same time by coming back here on Thursday, clicking that link. That is really the best way to do so. Plus, don't forget to use our discount code GETPhysical for 5% off this Play Asia exclusive. Thank you ever so much in advance. Gunborg Dark Matters is Red Hot Games' latest release. Literally is about to release digitally this week, and they have their pre-order for the Switch cartridge version available now. Apparently they have the PS4 and PS5 already printed, ready to go, but the Switch will be a while afterwards. It's the story of the Switch's life. This looks to be a pretty hardcore action platforming run-and-gun. We've seen a lot of these types of games over the years. Red Hot have done a few of them themselves, but it looks good. And yes, your eyes were not mistaken, you did just see a flamethrower. Suck that, Life is Strange. You can pre-order this right now at redhotgames.com and get 10% off with the non-affiliate code of SwitchWatch10. And our executive producers Boombox and Grantser have chosen this as their pick of the week. Grim Fandango is finally releasing physically on the Switch, and I tell you, I almost fainted when I found out that it wasn't limited run. Shocked, I tell you. I Am 8-Bit are doing this on their website, and they have a slightly special version with a special cover and some trinkets, looking very nice indeed. There is an EU version at blackscreenrecords.com. I do know there's going to be a retail release later on as well with slightly less special stuff, but keep tuned later on if you want retail. Honestly, just great news that I Am 8-Bit are doing it and not a certain other company. This is an all-time classic adventure game full of humor, perhaps aged somewhat mechanically, even in this remaster, but it's more than just a history lesson. It is a great game. Baba Is You is finally getting a physical release from Fangamer. I tell you, I almost fainted when I found... Okay, let's not do that. Baba Is You. Baba is me. You know, Baba in Chinese and probably many other languages. Baba, he means daddy, and I am the daddy. Look, I have proof. Erin, baby, who's Baba? Although a Google search seems to say that in English it means a small, rich sponge cake, typically soaked in rum-flavored syrup. I think I prefer to be that kind of Baba, to be honest. Anyways, this is an award-winning puzzle game that's considered creative and original. I remember people were talking about this on Twitter for a good while when it first released, and I've never played it myself, but it is universally acclaimed, so I think I can safely say it's pretty good. I don't know if this is getting a retail release. I didn't see any mention of that, but I would be surprised if it didn't. You can pre-order this from fangamer.com right now. And our executive producer Dane Wilkinson has chosen this as his pick of the week. Alright, the imports. It is a pretty big week. Remember guys, if anything takes your fancy and you'd like to import it for yourself, then consider using the links below in the description and the pinned comment. If you use those links, if you click them and then buy something, it also helps support this Let's Get Physical series ever so much. Really, it would not be where it is today without you. Plus, in return for your support and using our links, you can get a very nice 5% off any physical item from Play Asia if you use our current discount code GETPhysical. That's our current discount code GETPhysical, all one word, for 5% off any physical item from Play Asia. Dusk Diver 2. Where the frig did this come from? Look, I know this was like announced quite a while ago, the Japanese release with English. Yeah. I thought, I won't mention it because obviously it's going to get a retail release in like Europe and North America, right? No, there's been absolutely no mention of it whatsoever, and I am shocked. I can't believe it, because when it comes to hidden gems, Dusk Diver 1 is one of them. Really enjoyed the game, I reviewed it. It's a beat 'em up brawler type game that I felt had a lot of heart, and I'm really looking forward to giving the sequel a go. Will it release in the West? Who knows, but according to Play Asia, the Japanese and Asian physicals are releasing this week and do have English, so get on that, import this bad boy. And our executive producers V and Thorn Metal Luna have chosen this as their pick of the week. Taito Milestones is releasing in Japan this week with English. In Games are releasing this in the West in the summer at some point, but here it is a little bit earlier. You get a whopping 10 games out of Taito's endless back catalogue of old-ass arcade games. I guess they chose quality over quantity, but just remember, there were 2 Taito Legends games back on the PS2 and Xbox and whatever, and they have like 70 games on total, so it does feel a little bit stingy, especially for the price, which is quite high. But then again, it's got Kicks. And as we all know, Kicks is like the greatest horror game ever made. Kicks is awesome. I mean, okay, it may not have zombies or blood, but damn, it is terrifying. I've never played the arcade version. I've only played the Game Boy one, which I love, so I'm definitely tempted by this collection. And our executive producer, Brent McLean, has chosen this as his pick of the week. Now, just briefly, last week I mentioned The Letter and Love Esquire were being sent out by Play Asia last week, which I was half correct since only The Letter was sent out. This week, Love Esquire is coming. I actually put a poll out on our YouTube members late last week after my Eastwood review, and I put this one on the list, although it is very tight at the minute. I hope a few more of our YouTube members vote to make a clear winner. Remember, there is a standard edition and collector's edition available, and it's heading to you this week. And also, in Japan this week, they got a lot of other games, all of which don't have English. Here they are on your screen right now. Okay, now some newly announced imports that have built up over the past few weeks. Might as well bring them up in this already lengthy episode. Firstly, Indigo 7, which absolutely bleeds Scott Pilgrim in its visual wannabe style, but this is not a beat 'em up. No, it's a fast-paced action puzzle game. This is being released by Kosen in a standard and collector's edition, and like most of their games, it does have English, doing God's work. Star Melody, Yummy Dreamer. It's not Yummy, my autocorrect has changed that and I can't bother to have a look, so I'm saying Yummy Dreamer. I know it's not that. It's releasing in Asian regions with English on April 30th. This is a triple threat of visual novel, RPG, and rhythm game. Wow, that does sound utterly amazing. The gameplay segments seem almost insultingly basic, but maybe the story's good? I don't know. I'd definitely be up for giving it a try if I had the opportunity. It's already out in Japan, but it does not have English, so keep an eye out for this Asian English physical release in the coming months. Oshi, I forgot to write the rest of this name. Oshi something something something, I forgot. Is another visual novel, another Yori. I mentioned this already on VM Paradise. This is a double pack of the main game and fan disc, and this is from Prototype. Now, it's a fairly short package. Even the main game and fan disc together will probably last about 7 or 8 hours. This is where a lesbian tries to seduce a straight woman. Sounds like my kind of story. I'm sure it's full of hijinks, and it's supposed to be a little bit of slapstick comedy, one to import for VN fans. The Centennial Case, a Shijima story. Yeah, you may remember this was announced at the same time as the last Nintendo Direct. It's an FMV game from Square Enix. What? Yeah, surprisingly, there's been no announcement of a physical release in the West. Maybe it will happen, maybe it won't, but the Japanese physical copy should have English, so definitely keep an eye out for this. And also, I want to point out that when I talked about the Japanese release of Pocky and Rocky Reshined, which looks awesome by the way, I said I'd bet good money on Strictly Limited Games doing it in the West. Well, I was pretty much correct since their sister company, In Games, are doing it at retail in the summertime. Japan is April, the Western release a few months afterwards. Just thought I'd update you on that situation. If you've already pre-ordered the import or not, just, you can change your mind or make a decision, yeah? Although the logo on the Western version looks a bit shit, to be honest. The Japanese version looks so much better. Alright, let's jump into the community spotlight. Vast Neon sent in this photo of the quickly sold out Horus. Told you it would sell out in about 5 minutes. Plus, I did a video on VM Paradise about the Vita visual novels, physical ones. They picked up the very cultured Punchline. Barker Boy picked up these fine inputs. Thank you all for watching the Eastwood review. Obviously, it didn't quite do as well as if it was like a brand new release, but honestly, it's doing better than a few of the so-called hot off the press videos that we did. Better than Gunvolt anyways. The one sent in a triple helping of JRPGs, a couple of them scrappy underdogs, and of course Arceus, which I think a lot of you are still really enjoying. Kiel sent in this photo of The Company Man, a really nice enough action platformer that I reviewed. It's an import exclusive that has English. I'll be showing off my copy when I next get the chance. Executive producer God of Resin sent in this photo of a few limited run releases at the bottom. I should probably play Shiren the Wanderer. Maybe I'll pop that on the next poll for my late games to review list. Executive producer Thorn Metal Luna sent in this big haul from Play Asia. I just love how weird the second from right title is, the Kuki Yomi triple pack. I must put that one on the poll as well. Executive producer Cartoon Soren sent in this photo of, I think, all the physical Pokemon games on the Switch thus far. That is a lot. I only have one. I used to have two, but I sold one of them because I paid an eye-watering amount of money to get it much earlier than the street date. Needed to get some money back. Executive producer Issa sent in this photo of some bright and colorful games. That Fury artwork is pretty sublime. I'm usually indifferent on the covers that limited run games do, but that is badass. Much approved. Destiny's Hero sent in this haul of mostly imports, the reversible cover of Romancing Saga 2, plus they got Death Smiles. I was thinking about putting that on the poll as well. I've got a lot that I want to get through. Executive producer Mental Traveler sent in these games, a good helping of Pokemon, plus the granddaddy of adventure games, a very influential game of the genre. Switchback sent in these games, Republique. I heard it's not even on the eShop as of yet, or it got taken down or something like that. So at the moment, it's physical exclusive. Executive producer Robotech sent in this haul from Play Asia. Thank you ever so much for the support as always. Interestingly, none of them are imports. I didn't hear much about Plants vs. Zombies on the Switch. I thought it would be quite a big game on the system, but almost no one has mentioned it since its release. Needless Dragon sent in a full helping of both Disgaea and Darkside. Nice to see that for Disgaea 4 and 5, they went with the world ends with you route and decided to make them impossible to tell apart. Good job, marketing team. Executive producer Elisa sent in this photo of some nice games, including the fantastic import of the Mysterious trilogy, just in time for Atelier Sophie 2. Executive producer Grant Sert sent in this import of the Japanese version of Undertale, looking very understated. I know this got a release in North America too, but this is a great option as well. Emperor Snow finally got their hands on the much delayed vinyl soundtrack of Vectronome, which I think took more than 2 years. I don't know why. Alright, let's have a roundup. JP. Pick up sticks. Chris Stade. Bart B. Man. Ninja Darkovia. Brian Retro Gaming Guy. Pabs. Axaru. Crab. Merciless Switch Collector. Ying. Black Star. Starvey. McLaren. Burai Murian. Kraid. Radio to Rancid. Shenglong. Ashura G. Rorn. Neverbirth. Alright, you can send me your pictures on Twitter at SoWhatAboutGame. You can DM me, or you can tag me in a post to use the hashtag Let's Get Physical. We have an email address, switchwatchspotlight@gmail.com, and you can also send your pictures in our Discord in the submissions section. If you want to join our Discord, the server link is below, and I highly recommend you do that. We have a nice little community over there as well. You can join in, have a chat. I'm pretty much always on there, even if I don't always reply, but I'm there. I'm reading. Oh, I'm reading. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this episode of New Physicals. Let's Get Physical. Special thanks to our executive producers, as always, Dane Wilkinson, God of Resin, Boombox, Brent McLean, Jonathan Rumor, Santa Tartaruga, Alexander Kato, J Cross 7776, Elissa, Punky Dooster, Michael Del Polito, Cartoon Soren, Robotic, Z, Raven Knight, Thorn Metal Luna, Parsnip Coffee, Government Fat Cat, Issa, Vey, Mental Traveler, and Grantser. Thank you for your support. Plus you watching right now. If you watched all the way through, give me a fist bump in the comments because Dusk Diver 2 is releasing this week. Give me that fist. Fist me. And I'll fist you back. Yeah, please check out some of our other stuff. Please check out VN Paradise. We've got very real Barricade review coming up soon. We also got a lot of content on there already. Please check out my Atelier Sophie 2 coming on. My Atelier Sophie 2 review coming on Thursday as well. It's a busy ass week. And yeah, we've got some other stuff. I'm sure we do. We'll see you guys over there. Have a good one.